I want to ask you the same question about entry points. If a Nigerian company here represented, after listening to you about how you went about it, and ask you the same question, if they want to replicate the same thing, how should they go about it? And more importantly, are you willing to undertake some forum on an annual or periodic basis to share your experiences with emerging companies, highly motivated companies that want to go a similar path?
Thank you. I think the first thing, after being here 54 years, we are Nigerian, so as a country. So, having this debate about actually, we have strong Swiss roots, strong links, etc. And our largest shareholder sits in Switzerland, but at the end of the day, we operate in this environment. And after being here for 54 years, you're very much part. So what it tells me is, it shows what is possible. If we can have whoever, I would love everyone to come visit my operation team. We have absolutely world-class manufacturing, the best in class in the world, the most efficient operations, and we continue to grow year on year. Why? I mean, anybody can get machines. Anybody wants to think they can get into a food business and put machines, it's easy. It takes money to buy machines, but what makes you a sustainable, profitable business is really building the right competence, getting the right skills, and more importantly, retaining those skills. So, the earlier panelists talked about churn, and I know the nature of our business is very different. I have the opposite problem. Nobody wants to ever leave my company. So, we have less than 1% staff turnover. It is incredible. Nobody ever wants to leave. But part of the reason is because you have to give people learning opportunities. Salary, anybody can match, but to give them learning opportunities, to build skills, it keeps them and always there's an aspiration. So when we talk about innovation, for example, everyone has the view that all the innovation only comes from somewhere else. We have products that were innovated here. Gordhon was created in Nigeria and is only available in Nigeria. So it shows you innovation, product innovation, process innovation can come from here, but if you empower your people with the right skills, etc. So I think the question is not about should I do it, don't do it, I think that most people say, well, do I have the resources? The first challenge you have is you need to have the mindset. I'd rather not have the G-Wagon, but train people. Because most people want to set up businesses, have big fancy offices for the MD, rather than put the money in training them, because this is what will build big offices. And I think that it's about a mindset. I'd rather be slim on the trappings, put the money, because it's easy, it's an investment. Investment means you're going to get a great return. It's not an expense. Training people is not an expense. So when you're doing your budgeting process, and if you treat it as an expense, then you do it with a very sad heart. But we just see it as an investment, which will definitely deliver performance. And this is what we experience.
So Christian, I'll give you the last word on this question around entry point before we open it up to the floor. On the entry point, I mean, with GIZ, what you're doing, what you plan to do, if a local enterprise or development organization wants to do similar things, what are the opportunities for partnership?
The GIZ approach is always trying to look at it from a holistic point of view and from a systemic point of view. A company like Nestle has to look definitely for their own sake, for their people, but what we try is actually, and that is a good complementation of what individual companies or individual organizations, we heard some representatives here in the first panel, but we would rather look into, okay, what is the role of the government? And in the government, you can already see here in Nigeria, you have the IGF, you have the National Board of Technical Education, you have others, You have a federal government, you have a state government, you have a local government, and you have the private sector with agencies working what they call the OPS, organized private sector on the federal level, but you have the chambers, and then you have the individual companies. So what we are trying is very much make them talk to each other, do things what we do today here on a maybe a more frequent, structured basis, that people really know what can we bring in, but for what do we need others, so that that we create a system. It doesn't have to be a dual training system, but it should be a system where everybody knows what is my role and what can I fairly expect from others to come in when it comes to standard setting, when it comes to apprenticeships, when it comes to anything which makes the whole system for Nigeria work, and not just having small islands everywhere where it might work, but all the others are out of the game. So that would be our ambition. It's a big ambition, but we will go for it.
Great, thanks.